Hello and welcome to York Cocoa Works. I'm Ashley and I'm just outside the factory here. Today what we're going to be learning is how to taste chocolate. So the first thing we want to look for in chocolate is how the chocolate looks. So visually, in this case, we've got a nice shine to it. We're also going to be able to see if the chocolate is in good temper. With roasting as well, that can also affect the colour of our chocolate. So a really dark chocolate means a high roasting temperature that's been done. If it's quite a nice subtle colour in there, it's quite a low temperature. And that really can affect the flavour of our chocolate as well. The next thing we need to do is actually check the aroma of our chocolate. So we're going to have a smell of our chocolate and see if there's any distinct flavours in there. So I'm just going to break up a little piece just here. I'm just going to put it in the palm of my hand and just have a really good sniff, a really deep breath in. So when you're smelling chocolate, look out for any distinctive flavours. So things like herbal tones, fruity tones, ashy notes, smoky notes. And that's really going to tell us a bit of a story of where that cocoa is actually grown as well. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to listen to the chocolate, and you might think that sounds a bit strange, but however we need to ensure that there's a nice snap to our chocolate. So what we're going to do at the moment is just going to hold it up to our ear. We're just going to break the chocolate. We're listening for what that sound is going to be like. So if it's a sharp snap, ideally that means there's a nice temper in there. But sometimes if there's like a soft, dull snap, sometimes that may be because of the cocoa butter content or that it's not been tempered efficiently. That sound really tells us how the chocolate's going to be like. But basically, when we do snap it, we don't want it to be sort of crumbly in texture or anything like that. We want a nice firmness to the snap as well, specifically. Next, we're on to the fun part, and we're actually going to taste the chocolate. And there's various ways of actually tasting chocolate. Some people will just demolish their chocolate, just chew on it and swallow. But in this case, we're actually going to let the chocolate melt. We really want to bring all them flavours through. We really want to also have that experience, that journey of all them flavour notes coming through that chocolate. Now I'm going to get my chocolate, I'm going to pop it on my tongue, and I'm just going to start to let it melt, okay? When I hold my nose for a few seconds, I'm then going to release my nose, and then basically all them flavours will come out. And that'll help you pick out all those flavour notes. So I'm just slowly letting it melt and seeing all them flavour notes that come through specifically, okay? When I let go of my nose, there's the burst of all them subtle notes that are already naturally in there, just came straight through. With this one, I'm specifically getting ginger tones. I see quite a nice sweetness as well near the end. I've still got a bit of a way to go, so I might get something completely different. And a fruity, I'd say a fruity tone, gingery fruity notes. Last but not least, I'm also going to check the mouthfeel. So when we're actually tasting chocolate, we're looking for them flavour notes, but we also want to look at that texture and that mouthfeel. So in this case, I'm going to put my chocolate in there and just see how the chocolate melts. If it melts quite quickly, if it takes quite a while to melt. Also any texture, if there's a grittiness in there, does that mean there's an addition of salt or etc. Also how it coats the mouth. Sometimes it can coat the mouth a lot, and sometimes it can feel quite claggy, or it might be quite smooth, or it might be quite fresh, and it'll sort of go away and disappear quite quickly. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to let it melt just as I did when I was tasting the chocolate. At first, it's starting to sort of melt quite slowly. I wouldn't say it's melted really fast at all. I think it's bringing the flavour notes out quite slowly as well. It's not a complete whirlwind of flavour, but there is a tiny little bit of texture in there. And I would say that it's not like cutting my teeth too much, and it's not sort of hard to get rid of. It's staying in the mouth quite a bit, but not excessively. It's not feeling claggy, and it's not sticking to the back of the throat there. There's some things that you can also look out for, and that's excessive texture. So if, for example, it's really gritty, it might mean that it's not been properly ground down in the refining process. Also, sometimes if it's too sort of oily in texture, sometimes it can be excessive amounts of cocoa butter in there. Sometimes it can just feel like it's quite waxy. Sometimes that's not really a nice feel in some chocolates. There's various ways of sort of finding out what that actual issue is with chocolate. Sometimes texture is actually a really good thing though. Like I say, we could add additions to our chocolate like salt, dried pieces of fruit and things like that. Sometimes we might not always want chocolate to be really nice and smooth, but if it's intentionally supposed to be, you really do want that smoothness in your chocolate. So next time when you're tasting chocolate, really savour that experience and really go through that journey of all them 5 senses that you can use. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to experience some of our single origin chocolates, come visit our chocolate manufactory here in York.